Hello, lovelies. Thanks for joining Hearthside Story Corner. Today we will be continuing our voyage together with Birdling in part 6 of The Cruise of the Little Dipper by Susanne Langer. So sit back and enjoy this animated story with me. He was 700 years old and knew about everything from the North Pole to the Great Antarctic. "We are going to the Fairy Islands with a cargo of ants' eggs," he told Birdling. "Our king likes to eat them poached or fried or scrambled on his breakfast toast. We would do anything to cheer up the king." "Why does the king need cheering up?" Birdling inquired sympathetically. "I thought kings were always happy." "Oh, no. Our fairy king is very unhappy. His little son has been kidnapped by Shag." "Who is Shag?" Trick shook his head and rolled his eyes at Birdling's ignorance. "What? You have sailed the sea for fully half a week, and don't know who Shag is? Ask your crew." But the shrimps did not know about Shag either. They were not very clever, you know, and had not gone to school. "Won't you please tell us?" said Birdling, a bit ruffled at the brownie's airs. "Shag is the king of the deep sea," shouted all the fairies together, so loudly that the Nautilus ships rocked with the noise. "He has kidnapped our little fairy prince," Trick explained, "and nobody knows whether he is ill or imprisoned or dead. Our king is so sad that he will not wear his crown. He has locked it in a closet and hidden the key. As for the queen, the poor lady has turned into a weeping willow." "That's awful," said Birdling, and the shrimps were moved to tears. "Where does Shag live?" "Under the rock where the sea lion sleeps." "Can't somebody sneak into his house and take a peep to see what has become of the little prince?" "You make us shiver to think of it," replied the fairies, pulling their caps down over their ears and their sailor collars up. "The sea lion wakes at the slightest noise and catches anyone who comes near, and if you did get by, Shag would be sure to see you and eat you at a gulp." But Birdling went on asking questions. "Where is the rock?" "We are just passing it," said a shrimp from the top of the mast. "I see it far to leeward." Birdling turned his rudder and waved his hand as his boat swung away from the Nautilus fleet. "Goodbye," he shouted. "Tell your king that Birdling has gone to take a peep into Shag's palace to see whether the young prince be ill or imprisoned or dead. You shall not see me again till I bring word of your prince." The fairies set up a great cry of amazement, but already the Little Dipper was far to leeward, steering toward the terrible rock. So they continued on their way to the Fairy Islands, and all the way home they could talk of nothing but the adventurous captain of the many-colored sailboat and his crew. Birdling sailed straight up to the rock. It was black and high, and the waves ran upon it in great white ruffles. Then he noticed that the top of the rock was not of stone at all. It was the outstretched form of the sea lion, sound asleep. When the shrimps saw the monster, their courage failed them. They fell upon their knees and begged the skipper to turn back, for they were dreadfully afraid of being eaten, and when Birdling would not turn back, they mutinied and said they would not mind the sails and would not go 1 inch nearer the terrible rock. Then Birdling grew angry at their cowardice and locked them all into the hold, where their cries could not be heard, for he was afraid they would wake the sea lion. He then took the ropes and the rudder in his own hand and steered his craft into a cove so near the sea lion that he could hear the great creature breathing. Thanks again, lovelies. That is the end of our story time today. Please like and subscribe to join me for part 7 of The Cruise of the Little Dipper, coming soon, and have a phenomenal day. Goodbye.